I'm Jamal.
I'm Malik.
I'm Janarius.
And welcome to the show. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about, can Christians smoke and drink and still be considered saved? Anybody want to jump into that?
Alright, well, I just feel like, in this walk with Christ, you gotta be able to set a standard, you know what I'm saying? When you look like the world, you know what I'm saying, and do the same thing that the world is doing, as far as like, just even in that, and it's like, you're still in the world and of the world, you know? And those things don't really glorify God in any fashion or form or any way, period, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, they lead to even worse things, you know what I'm saying? They lead to even worse habits. They're not habits that any man of God or woman of God should want to be involved in, you know what I'm saying? People go to it in replacement for God. I know people go to a replacement for God, and often in situations like I smoke because I'll be stressed or it kills this and that, you know what I'm saying? When in reality it don't, it just numb pain, you know what I'm saying? You want to be healed, come to the healer, you feel me? Not the dealer.
Okay, so I think everybody should just know the why behind they do stuff, and that really is the reason, because everything really is a temporary fix to a very hard problem to fix, and the Bible tells us that some things don't come out unless you fasting and praying. So really the Lord is the only thing that can really fix any of the problems that we have, because really it's like some deep-rooted stuff. We use drugs to kind of like numb it, or drug, and it don't have to be drugs and drinking. Sometimes it's people too. But on the topic, yeah, you really can't be saved. And now it's a difference in working on the problem if you're really working on it. Like, but some people that say like they're working on it, but really they just don't want to get rid of it. So it's a difference in falling short of the glory of God and jumping on the flow on purpose. So that's all I have to say.
I feel like how the Bible says, your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. So each and every day you have to, in this walk of Christ, you have to maintenance your body. You have to make sure what you putting in ain't what you put in. It shouldn't be the same old thing that you was doing before you got saved. It's an everyday process. You know what I'm saying? We ain't saying that once you get saved and you'll be completely healed and delivered from all the old things that you do. But at the same time, God is not looking for you to be perfect, but He's looking for you to strive for perfection. And so in your everyday walk with Christ, you gotta make a decision to keep yourself clean and following after Christ in that way. And doing that, there's benefits and rewards when you keep yourself in a certain place in God. And when you're smoking and you drinking, you kind of like trying to numb the pain and doing those, then you basically tell God that you don't really believe Him in those areas of healing your life and bringing you out of things. So doing those type of things and still trying to be saved is very contradicting. It's, you know what I'm saying, why do all that when you have a God that can take that type of stuff where you don't have to run to things that cause you to stay empty and stagnant in a place, and rather than actually being healed and delivered and being made new. You know, you gotta. I think you just gotta really be intentional with how you want to do things, and really being intentional with your walk with Christ. And so when you come to the choice of making up your mind and want to really serve Christ, you have to do just that instead of trying to run to other things to numb the pain or to find pleasure in it. So yeah.
I don't like the term devil advocate, so I'm gonna say I'm a thought provoker. So what do y'all say when people are like, well, Jesus turned water into wine? Like, do y'all have a comeback for that?
Well, Jesus turned water to wine, but it didn't say that everybody there got drunk. Like, it didn't say they threw a party, they threw on some sinning music and got lit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't say that, you know what I'm saying? Jesus didn't say we couldn't drink, He said you just couldn't get drunk.
Jesus was showing God glory through turning water into wine.
Yeah,
you're not showing glory by getting drunk. Yeah. So that's dumb anyway. And back then, wine wasn't really even an alcoholic beverage, it was grape juice. So anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. And yeah.
So I got my little notes here. So he is definitely right. Back then, wine wasn't as strong as we have it today. It literally was like fermented, like grape juice. Because the water back then wasn't the cleanest thing to drink, so the grape juice, the grapes were fermented. So that is what they drank. So pretty much what we drink today, or what people drink today, is probably like 100 times stronger than what it was. Yeah, that girl, than what it was back then. And then I even wrote down here, like you guys saying, is not a sin is what God commands you, you know, not to do, and definitely going against that. So the Bible, I guess, never necessarily refrains from getting drunk or anything, but from drinking, excuse me, but from getting drunk. And definitely as a Christian, we are to abstain from all appearance of sin. So definitely, even though it may be, don't let your liberty be taken lightly of.
Don't let your good be evil spoken of.
Lord Jesus. Don't let your good be evil spoken of. So definitely with that, if we are, you know, a person of leadership, or we proclaim to be Christians and definitely glorifying God, don't be out here drinking, you know, at Applebee's, and it could be water in like a shot glass cup or whatever. But from someone from the outside looking in, they don't know. They're gonna be like, you know, sister so-and-so was up there at Applebee's getting drunk or whatever, you know, and it could just been you had some water, whatever it is. So make sure at all costs that we are abstaining from the appearance of evil, and because people are always gonna look for a reason to point the finger, and you know, pretty much, you know what I'm saying, make you out to be a hypocrite and different things like that. So definitely make sure at all costs that we abstain from the appearance of evil. So I did want to ask you, you brought it up though. So what do you have to say for those that are coming into the church, that are battling with smoking and drinking? Like, what words of encouragement do you have for them? And they just got saved.
Get some people that you know that you can trust, obviously, to help you be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to let people, and first of all, when you have people, let them know what you're dealing with, so they can kind of help you in that area, what you got going on. It's not hard, but we do make it hard to be accountable at times, because it's like we still want to please our flesh, and we still want to give our flesh stuff, but then kind of keep some secrets, and then only want to get delivered from some stuff that we know is easy to let go of. So, and even in that process, and you gotta understand it's a process, you know what I'm saying. But every day you gotta really want to be free from those things, but because if you have the wrong motive of why you're doing it, or you're not really trying to get free from it, it all becomes useless at the end, because you end up giving right back into something and then falling deep in, and then have to start a whole process over. Not necessarily starting over again, but it's hard to get back on your feet like you was before. So I just advise you to really be accountable, be a man and woman of integrity if you really want to do this thing the correct way.
And the Bible says that God doesn't tempt man, but in every temptation that He provides a way of escape. You know what I'm saying? And whatever that may be for you, you gotta find what that is. You know what I'm saying? How to get out of those situations. Like bro was saying, we like wait, because not every battle is the same, but you know what I'm saying. You can still face them the same way if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like we all know that the way we win battles is by being accountable, holding each other accountable, calling it something. It's bothering us and stressing us, something like that, something that's on our heart, and it's some temptation is getting real strong. We call each other, you know, send each other a text, tell each other what's going on, and we be completely honest with each other. We don't need nothing in the gray area. Yeah, nothing in the gray area, so we know what's going on. And when you try and hide stuff, it's either because you feeling guilty, or we think that you perfect or whatever. Because I used to feel like that. I used to be like, man, I feel like folks think I'm doing real good, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want them to think that, you know what I'm saying? Once I tell them this, they just think I'm doing horrible, and now they look at me, you know what I'm saying? But that's why you gotta find some real men and women of God, you know what I'm saying? That look at you for who God called you to be, you know, and love you out of those situations. You gotta love yourself enough to understand that you can't stay in those areas. You understand that God got purpose for you, and He's trying to get you away from those things and going to the things of God.
I would say to always stay in a place of like I'm going to win. Like never get like you're gonna have some moments where you feel discouraged, but don't stay in those places. And I know a lot of times for me, like church people, I'm not gonna try to like say like we the most judgmental, but we can be at sometimes. So certain people are not gonna understand how like you fall and you keep on going at it, keep on going at it. But don't worry about like what people got to say, because it's between you and God at the end of the day. So you got to keep working at it for you, keep working at it for God and for your relationship with them. I don't care how many times you got to come up here and throw cigarettes on the altar, whatever you got to do, you got to do it, because it's like at the end of the day, when you get to the gates, he ain't gonna ask you what did they say about you. They gonna ask you what did you do. So you got to win, and you got to stay in a place of encouragement. And yeah, surround yourself with people who can encourage you and who can lift you up and who know what you're going through. Don't keep secrets, because everything in the dark, it's come to the light. And when you really don't want, either you're gonna expose it or the Lord gonna expose it, and you don't want the Lord to expose it, because then it's becoming a big.
Yeah, you couldn't have it.
Yeah, because when he exposes it, he's supposed to expose everything. So somebody gonna know it. So I just say you deal with it. You gotta gain that responsibility and say, okay, it's time for me to keep on working at this. If you fall, you got to get back up quick, and you got to keep on working at it. So just keep working.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like the Bible says, if a man falls 7 times, get back up. And even in that, I'm not saying go and make mistakes more than 7 times or make exactly 7 mistakes and then try to get up. But I am saying that in that, what's opened up to me is that regardless of how many times you fall, the main thing you need to do is get back up. Don't stay in a complacent and dry place and then not confess like what's going on and try to get some help, because that's when the enemy will come in and what small sin, it seems small, and when you going through, when you trying to keep it a secret, it don't seem like a big thing, but then when you look, next thing you know, you look up and you and like a deep sin, and it's hard for you to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to speak out and be like, look, I need help in this area, because now you done let the enemy cause you to become shameful and guilty and things like that. So and even in the process of you going, and you gotta understand this, it is a process, but don't make mistakes that you know you can't prevent. That, because I've done it plenty of times where people tell me exactly what I need to do. I've had instructions, but I still chose to fall. And then I see myself in somewhere deep where I'm like, man, I should have just listened. You know what I'm saying? But even in that, you gotta be mindful of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand, when you walking with Christ, this body, this life ain't just yours. You know, everything that you do really does affect those around you. So you can't be selfish and think that your life is just yours and you can live it how you want to and do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really be mindful of other people, and because Christ died for us, and He's, you know what I'm saying, we got to be dying to ourselves and for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because we never know what God is trying to do there. We are all ordained to do something, and we all got people's lives in our hands. You know what I'm saying? Because of where we're destined to be. So you have to really be mindful of what you're doing, why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a process that you're going through that's hard, be accountable. It's not, we'll be accountable when it's something that's easy to be accountable with. But when it comes to things that's really opening up your mail, people get scared, or they like, well, I don't know what people gonna think. But when you really want to get free, you gonna get free. You know what I'm saying? So so all excuses go out the door for that. So when you want to make things happen, you'll make it happen.
And I want to add on to what he said as far as about talking about a righteous man fall 6 times and get to 7. That at first, that scripture, I never really looked at it so deep. You know what I'm saying? But I thought about it, and a righteous man, that's a man that's in right standing with God. You know what I'm saying? So that's a man. Like, at first, I didn't understand it, because at first I would look at myself and I was like, how am I a man of God? You know what I'm saying? If I'm falling, how am I a man of God? Then I looked at the scripture and it said a righteous man. That's a man that's God sees him as righteous, and he fell 6 times. At first that didn't make sense to me, but you know what I'm saying? But God look at us for different reasons, and for the same way we look at ourselves. You don't look at us like that. And in the same sense, make sure you're not condemning yourself and stuff like that. Make sure that what was I about to say?
With that, go ahead.
I want to say one thing I don't think I heard anyone say is definitely separate yourself from those people that are smoking and drinking. Because definitely, I'm pretty sure if you smoke and drink, you have friends that are in that way. But in order for you to, maintain and be strong and come out of it, you are going to have to separate yourself for a season, or even, whatever God may be. Because maybe God is, positioning you to something greater, and those friends are no longer conducive to where God is taking you. Or it may be a season where He is separating you delivering you, and when you are strong enough to go back to minister to them and to bring them out of their stuff as well. So definitely separate yourself and get around good, Christian brothers and sisters in Christ that can help you with that. And to my saved people, I guess the ones that in church of righteousness, definitely be humble and learn, definitely truly understand long suffering, because I hate that word, but I love it, whatever, Jesus. But you really have to labor with people, and just like they say, righteous man fall 6, get up 7. It's I guess time consuming. It definitely kills the flesh when you see your brother and sister in Christ going through, but you want it for them, but they have to want it for themselves. And as long as they continue to fight, you gotta fight. And fighting definitely is praying, turn down your plate, whatever it is, definitely going after God. Because some deliverance can happen just like that. Some of them you gonna have to fight for them, because it may be something generational in your lineage that you are truly going through and fighting that. So it's just not, weed, crack, whatever it is that can be a generational thing in your family. And I know we're talking about, drugs and drinking and stuff like that, but whatever it is that you need to get free from, some things it can happen like this, because maybe you're just like, God, I want to get free. It depends on the position of your heart, I guess, per se. And so then some things you just going to have to toll and fight, definitely as our, I guess, leaders in the church, or those that may be more mature in the spirit, definitely be humble and be able to see people through, love them through their situation, because God loves you through your mess, and that definitely a stretch for both parties. So that's my word for it.
Yeah, and even though we're talking about alcohol and weed and stuff like that, but even also for the young men, young women out there, those that's struggling and trying to get money or lust or pornography and stuff like that type of stuff is in the same category. This type of stuff, you need to be free from all sin. You know what I'm saying? You want to walk before God blamelessly, and you want to be pleasant. You want God to look at you and say, I'm pleased with you. I remember one time I got a word, and I was messing up, falling and slipping in the process. But I think the reason God was telling me that He was still pleased with me, because my heart was still like, God, I'm chasing after you. And God understands that the fight is hard. It's not an easy fight. If walking with Christ is easy, everybody be doing it. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta understand that even in us fighting and stuff, just make sure you have on your whole armor, and not just the armor that you think look good, or you want to just keep on certain things, because the enemy coming after you hard. You know what I'm saying? He not coming being all sentimental or trying to be considerate about what you got going on. So you got to be mindful that this battle is actually, we're at war. You know what I'm saying? You can't see it physically, but as you grow spiritually, you'll begin to see how the enemy trying to come in each and every type of different way. But you have to really, if you really want to get free and get delivered from some things, make sure your heart is there, and make sure you start to put forth the action and implement the things that you've been taught, and actually let God really work on you individually. You know what I'm saying? And don't put yourself in situations where you're gonna fall. That used to be my thing. I was strong in areas, but in my weak areas, I'd be trying to dip and dab in and trying to still please myself. But at the time, when you do all that, you dive into the whole thing and you get stuck. You know what I'm saying? And if you really are not strong in your walk with Christ, it'd be very hard for you to ask for help or to get up and get back up on your thing and really let Christ work in you. But the main important thing is really, just like you keep your house clean, your car clean, the things that you do love, you take value in, and we should be the same way and have that same motive with our walk with Christ.
Something you said was when you put on the whole armor, and then just be mindful what you want to put on. It just came to mind as far as, for those who are trying to get free from certain addictions, make sure you throw away those shirts or different things that maybe, or your 420 paraphernalia, because I know it's a big thing. All that stuff that may remind you of your ex and what y'all used to do and all that, throw it away. Even if it means changing your phone number that you had for 10 years, you're a trap boy trying to get out of that life, and, give up that number, whatever it is, like you said, at all costs, to be able to separate yourself, because the more you separate, the more you get away from this life and chase after God, the greater your deliverance, or the quicker it may come. So definitely, at all costs, definitely get free.
I got one more thing, I'm sorry. I remember I was at this church one time, and the guy was praying for me. He was like, in this walk with Christ, you're going to have to give up everything. And a lot of stuff that I love automatically came to my mind. I was like, well, I don't know if I can, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times the stuff that we love, when God tells us to give it up, is very hard to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not God, but the thing is this: if you love God, like you say you love God, you'll be willing to do it. You know what I'm saying? When you really have the heart of God, you like, God, my main thing, I want to please you. I want to be faithful in your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Then it'll be, I ain't gonna say it's always easy, but it's easier to let go of those type of stuff because you like, God, okay, I might not know what you're doing at this next moment, but I do trust you. You know what I'm saying? And you're able to give things over to God. And I feel like the times that it's hard for us to give things because sometimes we have a lack of trust. We don't, and sometimes our hearts ain't where our mouth say we are. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Your heart will speak before you do. And a lot of times, I feel like if we really love God, we'll take that extra mile like we would do for our boyfriend, our girlfriend, for the people that we love, and just in general, like when you really love somebody, you will go the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who it is, but I feel like we need to have that same, and that goes for me too. I'm still in that process of trying to get back on my feet and doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not up here. I don't have it together. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm up here with a mic speaking to you, I don't have it together. I don't have it all together. I'm actually in the process of trying to get back on my feet to where I need to, you know what I'm saying, get back strong and help my brothers and, you know what I'm saying, we all keep each other accountable, and it's always a process. Don't ever expect that Christians that's up here with a mic got it all together, that we're walking in perfection, because we're all a process. So, the difference is we're wanting to be pleasing to God, other than like more than other young folks is. So it's like we really have a heart to want to please God and what to do right. So you have to have the same. So that's all.
All right. So I don't remember the specific scripture or what it specifically say. All I remember, it's different versions in different Bibles, and this scripture is one of them that change up a lot. But in King James Version, it says that when you love Christ, you must hate your mother, your brother, your sister, and your father. And basically, what that scripture means, it talks. It's like if you love anything more than you love God, it is in the way. So with me, that was a big thing because, like, I got a big old family, so I was like, dang, I gotta hate them. So somebody was like, explaining the scripture to me, and was like, no, you just can't love them more than you love God. And at first that was kind of difficult or whatever, because I was like this family or whatever. But then I had to realize who gave me life, who sustains me, who blesses me. So with that, it can be people as well. So I don't want y'all, because all addictions are things that please us, that release a chemical in our brain that tells us that it feels good. And it's the same thing with, it can be the same chemicals are released with a person, and the same chemicals are released with a drug or with alcohol. So really addictions can be more than just drugs and alcohol. So I don't want people to think that your girlfriend's not an addiction, because she definitely can be. So, and what I wanted to say, a minute ago, somebody was talking about separating from, I think Ashley just said it, separating from those old people. When you separate from those old people, when you separate from those people, connect with people that are of the same, I ain't gonna say the same value, that sounds horrible, but the people that are chasing after God and are at where you're trying to get, and also people who are on that journey with you. Because when I had first got saved, what had helped me grow was being around people who also was chasing after God just as much as I was. So make sure that you don't make time for the enemy to attack you, because when you get alone, there's times when the enemy will offer you things that you try to separate from. When you get by yourself, the first thing God told the man not to do is be alone. The man should not be alone. So the reason for that is because temptation comes when you're by yourself, and you really ain't gonna fight something that pleases you when you're on your own. So make sure that you're around people who are holding you accountable. Also, make sure that you make less time for the enemy and more time for God. So make sure you volunteer at your church. Whatever you have to do, just make sure that you have no time for the enemy to offer things to you. And if you do have time, make sure you got that number that you can call, whether it be a pastor or somebody that you look up to. Yeah. But the main point is to make more time for God and less time for the enemy.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess anything else? Before we end, I just want to give 2 scriptures that I have, because I always go back. So just look at Ephesians 5:18 and then Proverbs 23, 29 through 35. So definitely tell the people how they can follow you and contact you, especially if you have any questions about this word today or anything.
What's up? My name is Jamal Tar. You can follow me on Instagram at _preacherman, and then you can follow me on Facebook at Jamal Tar. So,
I'm Malik Sims, Big Sims, Slim Sims. You feel me? Follow me at on Instagram at the number 4 Him I Breathe. So that's the number 4 HIMIBREATHE. And you can follow me on Snapchat if you want to at Bankroll Sims. You feel me?
Snapchat.
That's it.
Good.
Oh, Facebook, Malik Sims.
I'm Janarius Carey. You can follow me on Facebook at Janarius Carey. That's JANARIOUSCAREY. JANARIOUSCAREY. And I don't think, well, if you want to, you follow on Snapchat at JCAREY811. JCarey811. Praise.
Facebook, Ashley M. King. Once again, that's ASHLEYM King. Instagram, however you want to say it, but it's THE Ashley M. King. So the Ashley M. King on Instagram. So make sure if you're watching this video, share, like, post, comment, whatever it is, definitely keep the questions coming. Please interact with us. Help us spread the gospel. So whatever questions that you're interested in, whatever comments, definitely post them below. So thank y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
Woo!